Hi guys, this video is a record for my first ever long distance ride on a bike. I went along with 3 of my other friends and it was an unforgettable memory. It's 160 kilometers long in 7.5 hours, from Toronto across 7 cities all the way to Niagara Falls. As for the route, we began our ride at Harbourfront Trail near Union Station, Toronto, heading towards the west to Etobicoke, Port Credit, passing Mississaugas to Oakville, Burlington, Grimsby, St. Catharines, Niagara-on-the-Lake, and at last, Niagara Falls at the finish line. We started bright and early in Toronto, just as the sun was rising. Spirits were high, legs were fresh, and the city was just waking up. Our journey would take us along the lakeshore and through some beautiful towns along Lake Ontario. As you can see, we are all having fun and enjoying that fine peace Saturday morning. And after the warm-up, we started to pick up the pace as we were heading out to Port Credit in Mississauga, and it started to become a bit faster riding in groups. As for the ride so far, it's definitely been easy and casual as we were not fighting ourselves to try to be our best PR on Strava. And personally, the real grind actually began at Burlington as the distance was starting to creep in. My legs were still doing fine, and it's just I started to lose a bit of energy after 65 kilometers of riding. This has started to become a test of endurance.
Now I'm at a stage that is like I have no power, but I can keep going forward. It's really tiring. Alright guys, so we just hit the most unpleasant road on the whole ride, which is like on the right side you can see there's the highway.
And riding from Burlington to Grimsby was definitely very difficult, and it's also very mentally challenging at the same time, as there are no nature, no landmarks, no shade, just pedal after pedal. And this is about a 10 kilometers road riding near like the QEW highway. They call it the North Service Road. It's part of the ride that you have to go through in order to go to the other side of the town. And also, here are some footage that shows that my friend dropped me on the North Service Road as I got no chance to keep up the pace with him. And you can see he becomes smaller, and I have to zoom in the camera in post in order to find out where he goes. I keep telling myself that I have to keep my own pace, keep my own rhythm. Eventually, we arrived at Grimsby and we stopped by Wendy's for a quick lunch. And that was the first 100k, and as our stomachs were filled, we started head out to St. Catharines once again. In here, we were riding some open country roads and chasing around the cornfields. Once we passed this bridge at Port Wells St. Catharines, I got dropped once again by my friend here. But I decided to again use my own pace, and it stays the same until I hit Niagara-on-the-Lake. And getting to Niagara-on-the-Lake was a reward in itself. The views were stunning and the town was vibrant. There was this quiet satisfaction of knowing I was getting closer, and we also stopped here briefly to have a gelato break. As we were leaving the town, we passed by Fort George. It was a military fortification in Niagara-on-the-Lake. The fort was mostly destroyed during the War of 1812, and the site that we are seeing now has been a National Historical Site of Canada since 1921, and it features a reconstruction of the original Fort George. following the Niagara Parkway recreational trail. We were heading towards Niagara Falls, and it comes with this scenic stunning view by the Niagara River. I would say this will be probably like my most enjoyable moment of the entire ride, and I just like the view on the trail, and it's just unforgettable. Just before the celebration, there was actually one last challenge, which will be the ultimate climb to Niagara Falls. It wasn't actually that difficult, and it turns out to be much better than I thought, but taking into account that we've been riding for 160 kilometers, it's definitely difficult.
This is the most difficult part of the ride. There's a huge climb coming up.
The climb was actually about 10 minutes long, and I have this fast forward like in 4x to let you see how long it is. Once you finish this, you're pretty much in Niagara Falls, and it turns out like my GoPro went out of battery, and I couldn't show you when I was like getting to the finish line, fortunately. But regardless, here are some phone footage for the legendary Niagara Falls. What I love most about this ride wasn't just the distance or the destination, it was the simplicity with friends, bikes, and the open road. If you ask yourself if you should do a long distance ride, trust me, the answer is yes, it's worth every pedal strokes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your longest ride has been. Until next time, ride safe.